what's happening, guys? It's been about a week here. Wanted to jump in and make another video. Never did make the Moonbase Crypto website video, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I did the release through the Facebook group and showed off the new website. I built this in December and January as the market was shooting up, and then as the market was shooting down, I'm not going to release a website in the middle of that, so I released it what I call good timing. Basically at the time when all ICOs should have delayed their token releases into, and that is simply because you don't want to put yourself or your project right into the middle of a market collapse naturally. And as this website has a lot to do with adding things like Spotlight Crypto that people can use as kind of a consideration basis among their own choices to choose trade timings, and just it's to give us an idea. It's the same as the whole purpose of the Facebook group. We want to try to gather our best ideas together so that, you know, we can choose our own personal favorites among what everybody's kind of offering up. And hopefully as the group grows and as the website kind of helps maybe bolster that effort, we'll see more prospects being kind of talked about, more ICOs discussed, and you know, the fun stuff. And Moonbase Crypto is intended to kind of get us into a bit of a more narrow channel than a lot of the other groups, where we will you know, see everything being discussed, including random questions about exchange functions or, you know, gossip, and instead kind of jump over that baseline hurdle and get to a place where you know, we're sharing, you know, maybe our favorite pieces of information for the day or the week. And that's what the website is about. So I said in the last video that I was going to do some coverage about the website, and I want to do that right now. And then we can talk a little bit about the market maybe after that. But hopefully you've seen it already, and if not, then welcome to the website. It's www.moonbasecrypto.com, and you can always find that link right through the Facebook group. And we talk about the Facebook group here, and there's a link here, and you can also get to the Facebook group console right through the community tab here, and I'm going to pop that open in another tab. And you've probably seen this before if you're part of the group, but you can actually filter the Facebook feed by these specific keywords that are used as tags in the group. And if you want to jump to the group itself, it would be right through here. I'm going to pop that open in a tab, and as you'll be able to see, this jumps you to the Facebook group itself, which you can always find by simply searching Moonbase Crypto in the Facebook search. And this is just the open feed and all the posts we've been doing the last few days. And through the console, if you haven't noticed through the group, you can click on Prospect, for example, or I'll do News and ICO also, for examples. So it'll pop up the Facebook group after clicking the Prospect button, and you'll only see posts that have the word, where are we? Get the ICO? I don't know. This one's the prospects. Maybe this one's the ICO. And this one, there's the prospects right here. So we've got every post that has the word prospect in it, and that includes tags, especially as the prospect. And also there's news and cool. And so when you don't want to see all the other topics, you can just search through and just see the prospects. If you're trying to make a quick trade tonight, for example, you might not want to read through an entire Facebook group, and you might want to just see what people said were prospects for the day. And you can check the Moonbase Crypto website for some prospect ideas, or you can jump to the group through that search button and just see what other people and myself naturally posted as prospect ideas. So that's a cool feature. That was the first feature I shared with the group, and you can always find that through the community tab. Getting back to the home page, though, I think the community, excuse me, I think let me see here. There we go. I think the coin of the month ideas are cool. I know that they get abused by some arrangements to where people are trying to create momentary pump and dumps, and I think that was a big thing that was kind of going on last year. Some of the influencers kind of, you know, coin of the month, boom, and they get in early, and then they make the call, and everybody shoots the price up, and everybody always wonders, does that guy just cash out right there on the spot? And well, that's the abusive version of this. And well, the coin of the month and the ICO of the month are things that I'm putting on moonbasedcrypto.com, as these are not going to be out of the blue calls. I'm not going to yank some random crap coin, buy a heavy stake into it, and then try to shake it out as a pump and dump. These are coins that have legitimate news-based reasons to be here. EOS was chosen as the coin of the month in June. People in the group, I'm pretty sure, saw it coming. We talked about EOS a great deal the week before. Their mainnet was being released this week. We'll talk about that in a minute, but it's a very big pivotal checkpoint for a very large crypto that has just made massive gains and increased its rank. So EOS is the coin of the month for June, and it makes a lot of sense. Likewise, Tim was chosen as ICO of the month. It's a concept I actually shared about a week before. Tim is targeting a method of kind of fracturing up a global network into smaller pieces in order to increase the speeds of transactions in these smaller pieces. And this is breakthrough for crypto. It's first tier crypto. It would affect crypto directly. And we're talking about a huge increase in speed if indeed crypto networks generate massive forms of activity like we're all hoping that they do. And Tim would be a breakthrough idea. And honestly, as we jump down and see the ICO ratings, I've included some ICO ratings, and these are also chosen from Spotlight ICOs. These are not random off-the-shelf kind of quirky ideas. These are ICOs that are getting a great deal of attention and that can offer a lot of prosperity based on the fact that they're not obscure, they're not shill-based ICO ideas. But as I was just describing, Tim is unique in where it attempts to service crypto for itself. A lot of these ideas, these are great ICO ideas with very high ratings among many influencers. But Tim is kind of seeking to kind of crack into a new little category, and that's why I feel that it needed to be ICO of the month, even though it's only chosen by a couple influencers. A lot of these ideas, great as they may become, are a little more, they stayed a little closer to the pack, and Tim is kind of stepping out and reaching for something not only new and great, but something that I think that all of us knew crypto could offer. We knew the networks could be sped up exponentially if we decrease the size of the network. Anybody thinking about crypto, their mind could have gone to that idea, and my mind had gone to that idea. So when I hear of Tim, I'm stoked to see it. It might not be the biggest surface pump because the influencers aren't backed up on this, but this is one we need to be aware of because this is a very key direction for crypto itself. Okay, we move down to the Spotlight crypto. As I just talked about in the group, these are not supposed to be trade signals per se. I'm not trying to create a trade signal group. I'm not wanting to put an idea up here and have hundreds or thousands of people see it and go, oh, boom, let's fill it up right now. Da, 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 da. This is now a pump and dump type situation. These are cryptos that are being added as the week passes. So we're just finished the week 5 of May. And as you see, I only added just Theta. Theta was poised to do some moon work. It was going up and it was going to offer trades. And if we kind of scroll back in time, you'll see these ones I've added. These are crypto I talked about vigorously in the groups during that momentary bull run in early May, and it followed through into here. And these were crypto that were peaking in the news, that were beginning to show the potential to really peak on the charts, and they're being added for this. And these are ones where if they're very sound and stable in the news, then we kind of collect them, and including ideas that aren't right here on this, but in the groups and wherever, we know that we can rely on them possibly if the market dips for a quick sell-off, and if we know the market's going to cruise back up, these will be the early players most likely. And that's what makes these key. That it's not a trade signal to jump on and buy. If Theta's posted and you look at Theta and Theta's up, I remember the day I posted it was up 10, 15, or 20% that day. And then I posted it and it went up another 20%. You know, it could be used as a trade signal in that case. That said, if you're the guy that you see this later that day and Theta's already gone up 40%, please don't just pile in like it's a trade signal. You know, be smart. You know, all the things we're talking about in the groups and making smart buys and this and that. And if you're new or old, don't take it as a trade signal specifically. Check the posts in the group and whatnot, and kind of see the market context. The market context is super important always. So I'm going to keep rolling down. I added a cool little news feed. This is actually serving a lot of the very active crypto news that's coming off of specific pages on Facebook, and it preloads 5, and you can always hit the load more button and see more, and that's always cool. You can never do with enough good news feeds, and it's a nice little news feed. It often pops with a lot of the super hot stories of the day, because these are pages that are siphoning off some of the great news stories, recontexting them, and now we're here in a nice little funnel just to grab a couple stories, and it's great. I've got a couple things here that are just going to keep rolling. This I'm considering doing some additional news stories and whatnot. I'm a writer, and it's a pleasure to do a nice written piece, and I might do this. A lot of the website has to do with how much time I'm comfortable with putting in and running this website. I've got a lot of other things going on, believe it or not. I'm always maxed out, and I want this to be fun for me and fun for you guys to use. That's why I added this calendar here, and I'm really stoked about this feature. One of the things about a lot of the news sources about crypto is it takes a long time to get through. You kind of got to wade through the news pieces that are very potent, and you got to sift through the ones that are less potent. And an event calendar like this, posted events by somebody like myself, or currently in the test phase. I've got 8 other people on the Moonbase crypto group who can post as well. You know, and these are going to be more than likely spotlight crypto, and you know, I'm not filtering all these posts. This is about sharing the ideas and getting good news in front of each other's faces, so we can make better trades quicker. It's about if we individually add something to these resources, then man, we speed up each other's game by so much. And I'm going to make sure to have some nice events here, and I loaded up on the 31st, which was just a huge day. As you see, if you click the 4 more, you see all the listings for 31st, and quite a big day, and I'm going to move to talking about some of that in a minute. But I added the ICO outlook, and the reason is because there's a lot of influencers posting their ICO reviews. A lot of them have different motivations. I think it's good to have multiple ICO review sources, and I know from the ICO list, you can probably see it used to be half a dozen, now it's probably up to a dozen of big name ICO raters. Well, I'm adding myself, or rather Moonbase Crypto, to that list here. And these are ICOs that, you know, right now you might look at these and be like, where did these come from? He's like, well, I personally rated these like this. But I'm always open to seeing and seeking out new ICOs. And I see these, that's actually how I found Tim, was somebody just briefly mentioned it in another group, and it led me to go see it. And then, you know, it got worked into the cycle. And that's how it should be. And the way I am personally, it means that if this is a great list, and if we see one that truly needs to be in that list, it will be in that list. I kind of don't mess around with, you know, trying to wedge in specific preferences. I always try to relate things on an objective basis when it comes to investing, because you can't get too glued to things personally. There's always say in the stock market, you know, don't get married to a single stock. That's just the way it is in investing, because when there's a money market chart, there's plays being made by others, and they will upset your own situation. So we have to do it as well. We have to field that and make changes as needed. Long-term holds, May 2018. I haven't converted that to June yet, even though it's June 1st. I'll be doing that. And actually, I'm not going to add any changes right now. So basically, I'm just going to cycle this one forward. People in the groups sometimes ask me, what is the price target? And I'm always given the answer, I'm not giving price targets because I'm not trying to monitor your trades. And there's a very good reason for that, is I'm not trying to incite pump and dumps, for one. And two, once a crypto moons and goes up 20, 50, 80, 100%, I'm not trying to tell you to hold on to it when it could easily move against you after that point. You know, people need to have a certain grip of their own horse at that point. You have to be able to make that call yourself, because at that point it's a gamble. If crypto's gone up 100% and old crypto gazer or whoever is saying it's worth more, hold on to it, and then it moves against 50% and drops, well then, you know, we got two suckers. You know, one, the sucker that said it, and then the sucker that believed it. And I'm not into making decisions like that for other people. It just doesn't make sense. In such a case, you'll burn yourself and you'll burn others. However, I get asked about targets a lot. So these targets, these long-term hold ideas, you can see these are very conservative choices. I'm actually seeing one at sub. It's kind of creating for itself a reason to be have a lesser market cap right now. Its chart's not playing very well, but that's not the point. The market's sagging. These are conservative choices. ICX 3.5 billion, and at a long-term hold that might last a year. Well, no one can see that far ahead, but these are considered fairly sound cryptos with very conservative estimates. I'm not going to sit here and say ICX 100x. I'll never say that. ICX, which was just at over $1 billion recently, given it a 3.5 billion for a long term for what is a protocol, that's not unreasonable. That would put it at roughly 1/3 the value of EOS today, or EOS, whatever you want to call it. These are conservative choices, and I kind of only got them up there because people kept asking. Now I can say we've got some long-term holds with some market cap targets. I know some people like those market caps. I get it. I totally get it. You want to buy something, you want to set it and forget it. Well, don't take these as religion. These are suggested potentials. Everything's a suggested potential in a market, especially when it's crazy as cryptocurrencies. Now, I also wanted to add long shots, because this is a critical placement for crypto. We're talking stuff that has very low market cap values, or stuff that has only been on very outer rim exchanges. You know, this is the stuff where people are looking for 10x's, 100x's. Well, Moonbase Crypto Group and website, we've got to be keeping our eye on that kind of stuff too. And the first four I've added are ones that are in that situation. And I've explained this very well down here, I think, and on each of these sections, that these are what the framework for these choices are. Again, these are not call signals. I wouldn't buy everything on this page and then just walk away from crypto for a few months and hope for the best. I mean, maybe things work out that way, but I believe in market watch. Always have. As everyone has learned in the crash cycle, you don't have a choice. If you want to make gains and keep your gains, you got to keep at least your left eye on the market. You know, just glance at it every couple of days or weeks and make some choices. You have to make some choices. So these long shots are. This was a nice suggestion on a group. I forgot who that was. I talked about it in Moonbase and wanted to give credit. I always like to give credit to who popped the idea up. Most of the times I can remember the name as I'm typing the thing. Other times it's like, boom, the browser tab's gone and I can't find it. But somebody had mentioned that, and it was an interesting choice. It had just blossomed right after they'd mentioned it. And all of these have a little edge in crypto and very low market cap. And I like those, having those choices, and I always keep an eye out for those because just like everybody else, I want a 10x and I want a 100x, you know? And while these spotlight cryptos up here probably aren't going to offer you the 10x and the 100x because these are spotlight cryptos. These are cryptos that are huge in the news. These are cryptos like ZIL, where I had talked about them since the ICO, and big movers. And of course, you know, they sagged with the market recently. That's why these are not intended to be the long-term holds. And this is why I added the long-term holds. Is, you know, we're not talking about long-term holds. We're not always, a call of one kind is not linked to all time frames. And that's just how it is. Anyways, let's jump to this links page. And I've added basically quick tools. If you're sitting here going, I got to get out of this crypto now, it's not good, and I got to get it into something else now, I put these link tools here because this would be a very fast way to get yourself into another crypto. For example, say you've got $500 or $10,000 sitting there on Binance, you just yanked out of a crypto. Well, you need another crypto that's at Binance if you want the fastest move. So put the little $ link, and that's going to take you right to CoinMarketCap's Binance page, and you're going to be able to find yourself a Binance coin real quick. You know, I love that. This is something that I wanted, so I added that, and I know that that's going to help others. Kind of got the exchange breakdown. Another one is some of these problematic exchanges. Honestly, I find this to be an invaluable tool. I've gotten burned on a couple of these exchanges for various reasons, and it's infuriating and sad when this happens, and it's just the way it is. If these exchanges were to totally change their note and a year passes and everybody loves them, they can get off this list. But if you offer zero customer service, if people can't get in and out of their accounts, things like the Yobit Zios thing just demolish anybody that gets in before the fork happens, they're on this list. These are the ones on this list are all exchanges that I've seen dozens of complaints in the groups I'm in. This isn't about appealing to me. This is about you. These exchanges let other people get roasted for one reason or another. They've complained so much, I'm going, well, I feel like it's a social responsibility for me to not direct people to buy crypto on these exchanges in any way, shape, or form. So that list is there. I don't want people to take an idea from me and go here and get their money trapped. It's horrible. It's a horrible feeling. We've got our little tools here. Crypto Panic, that's a great site. Cryptocurrency Calendar. These are all great websites, and I'll try to keep them up to date. I think there was a dud here in the ICO review one or two. I think this one's a dud. I need to get it off of there. But all decent, just decent, quick little tools instead of hunting in my bookmark folder over and over again. Thought maybe it'd be fun for you instead of hunting in your bookmark folders. With little graphical representations, you can just do things faster. You know, it's nice to save time. That's why I put that there. I do have the Market Glance tab right here. Also, these are tools you've probably seen before. Example, the heat map. You want to see the heat map? Just a click of a button. You can load up another tab while you're looking at other things. You can go bam, 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 load all of these up. And while you're having your quick little glance at the market, you know, you can just jump through, get your market glance. Each of those tabs that popped out. Boom. You know, you see the market in a quick instant and start doing your thing. That's what's important. And that's why I try to treat this website a little bit like a console. And I'd love to add more features. I've contemplated tons of complex features, including the home site. I thought originally I might do super complex multi-person trade ideas with rankings and this and that. And I would have done it if I thought it was the way to go, if I thought it was beneficial. Not just to the group, but I gotta weigh what's worth. Is it worth for me to spend a month of my own time on it, and then some of the complex stuff I'm paying paying others to do. I designed all of this, but to do the additional features, I was going to have to pay somebody else, and I would drop 2-3 grand to get a super cool feature done, and still might in the future. But moon-based crypto is going to have a serious amount of traffic before I decide that that's worthwhile. So you've seen the community tab. That's it, man. Moon-based crypto is just a quick little console to get the trade juice flowing when ideas are wanting. There's times when I jump to the Facebook groups because I want an idea. I want to see what's the hottest crypto of the week, and that's why we have the Moon-based Facebook group as well. And hopefully we can call lots of great and fantastic ideas and keep the show rolling. At the same time, this is a website that I'm capable of managing without demolishing my time, and that's another important thing. It means we can keep it moving. It's not going to just dead stop today or tomorrow because the owner maker is bored of doing it, or it takes too much of their time, which they got to be making income for themselves. So that's the Moonbase page. Should we talk about the market just a little bit today? I think we should. Today's video has a critical talking point, and that is that May 31st was the big mainnet release date. Well, the market's just kind of wavering all over the place. The EOS mainnet, I think it's been delayed a little bit, maybe from that latest security flaw issue, don't know, but the crypto panic news has this kind of error. I think it's been delayed, but there's so many mainnets I can't look them up and talk about them all right now. But Tron prices dropped over 20% in the last 7 days, even though mainnet's coming. And I talked about it. I'm sure you might know this if you've been in the game for long, but if you haven't, I talked about it last week. Is mainnets don't create price pops. So I thought that the EOS mainnet release would be kind of a key pivotal factor, because if we're going to get a price pop on a mainnet, it would be EOS. Not seeing the pop so much. In fact, EOS is down -1 while the market's kind of blotted back and forth all week between the Bitcoin 7,500, 7,000 level. It is what it is. Let's look at that Bitcoin chart. We're just stuck 7,500. I think everybody at this point is going, we're going down, and some people are like, I don't know. But the huge bull market talk has slowed down. Yet big institutional traders are starting to enter the market through, I can't remember that exchange name. It's like LMAX or something like that. Somebody shared the link earlier. Let's find it. Where is that? There we go. Aid Wellington, that's right, he shared it, and it is the, it's coming from a mainstream news source. We take these with a grain of salt. Yeah, LMAX, I got it right. That's good. Memory's sharp today. Supposedly, yeah, 200 to 400 billion a day trading might be coming. Possibly so. We're all waiting for information just like this. Will the institutional money pour through an exchange like this, or will it pour through Goldman Sachs exchange that's supposed to be coming, or NASDAQ's exchange that might be coming? Probably that's what big money's waiting for. Big money wants to push the money into a regulated market. They're not going to push $100 billion into an offshore crypto market that's not regulated, because they know they could lose that in an instant. Some insider could just gank it and ship it, and it's out. They're not going to do that, and that's a lot of the reason of why a lot of the super bull market calls that were supposed to be happening in May didn't happen. It's because there's not an ultra secure portal for the institutional money. That money is coming to whatever degree it will, according to the choices of those people, which none of us can read their minds, but also the portal for which that money is going to enter the market. Bitcoin, We got the global market. Global market's looking a little happier than the Bitcoin market, which is surprising. It's not that from here to here wasn't honestly a decimation. It was. I mean, people could have easily lost 50 to 60% of their portfolio yet again. I mean, people have lost, what, 60, 80% on this one, and yeah, you could lose it all over again. This kind of volatility is problematic. And the reason is people can make money on volatility if they trade, and holders can get eaten up, and traders can also get eaten up badly. Look at Ethereum. Ethereum has the appearance of hanging in just a little better, which is nice. EOS, let's look at the chart. EOS just had its huge pump up to that 15 billion range. It's dropped back down to 10. Are we down to 12? We're in that $10 to $12 range now, the $10 billion mark. Well, we knew the mainnet was coming for a long time, and that had a lot to do with this. And did we dump the news? Is that what happened? Well, I didn't hold EOS. Honestly, I didn't have it through this quick jump. And even though I knew EOS was going to pass NEO, I didn't know when that was going to happen. And it happened, and I wasn't going to buy in up here. And I'm glad I didn't. Mainnets don't generally pop the news. What we need is the piece of news that comes after the mainnet. Once the mainnet comes out, we need talk of the partners and the developers that are going to use the mainnet. So that'll be the news that'll really drive the price. If we look at the market overall, I know the last week we've had red days followed by one green day and then followed by another red day. The market's mixed. That's what it's doing. Traders are rolling around the 7,500 Bitcoin price level, just rolling around BitMEX, making money, washing dummies, making dummies, and making somebody rich. Not myself this week. This week I've been working on my other projects and just trying to stay anchored down in the crypto market. It's volatile. Volatility means people get beat up. I call it the chops. It's like when you're on a boat on one of those days that gives you those like constant 2 to 3 foot choppy waves. It's miserable. Nobody has fun. And I think that's why people are they're timing out. I feel it in the comments. I see the group activity, and it's, if we're going to take our break, let's take it now, because the price is going to move. Are we going to drop? Are we going to drop below 7,500 Bitcoin? It's possible, but it is a pretty strong support level. And with all the new money that's eventually going to come in and all the positive news, that's what's keeping us up. It would be nice if that would trigger a bull run. Everybody's waiting for that. But, we don't make the market. We ride it. Play smart, guys. I'm done. Have a good one. We'll see you next time. Peace.